aiming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was gonna draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network in partnership with Next Gen Racing Productions. As always, it's Sunday morning. You know what time it is. The Sunday Hangover Indycar League is live here at Texas MotorSpeedway for the Texas Hold'em 125. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the season. This is your points heading into today's race. These drivers do have some drop races allotted to them. 2 dropped races are being allowed, so as long as you have made the required number of starts already this season, you can replace either your finish here today at Texas for another one, or you may be able to opt to use the season finale points from Indianapolis MotorSpeedway, where we head off to next Sunday. So things gonna get very interesting. You see a lot of the drivers through third on back very, very close to each other on the points. Graham Bunyan, however, in that 101 machine has been absolutely, I won't say perfect or flawless, has had a few incidents this season, but it is going to take a lot to bump him off of that top step. As we sit right now, he is 93 points ahead of second place. Just looking around the track as happy hour is going to be coming to an end here in about a minute or so. As I've already said, here we find ourselves in Fort Worth, Texas, at this great facility, Texas Motor Speedway. You know, they do it bigger, badder, and better down in Texas. Have the biggest Jumbotron is just what I'm going to call it. I think they've named it, I think it's Big Hoss is actually the name that the track has given it. A little interesting fact here about Texas Motor Speedway. The banking in turns 1 and 2, there you see it only 20 degrees, while the banking in turns 3 and 4 is at a 24 degree banking. So slight differences from 1 to 2. This is a 1.44 mile track, so drivers will be able to lay the hammer down pretty much the entire time. Happy hour has now came to an end, so we will get ready to jump out there with some of these drivers as they get set to go qualifying here at Texas Motor Speedway. Man, oh man, this is race number 11. I think I accidentally placed it as race number 12, but it's race number 11. No, actually, this is race number 12. That is correct. I don't know what I'm thinking. Anyways, we'll jump on board out there now. The 67 of Will Zoller has begun his qualifying laps, so we'll watch him as he goes around the track. Gonna go ahead and drop down your qualifying order as they're running right now, just above the 4 minutes left here in qualifying. A lot of drivers not putting in timed laps yet, so as a matter of fact, let's go on and let's get this on out of your way for right now. We'll just ride around here with Will as he is putting down his first timed lap for qualifying here. He more than likely will shake out in first place, as he is the only driver to put down a timed lap just yet. Scott Kirchner out there on track. Rick Kilball, Will Stearns, Ben Wallace in the 99 out there on track as well. Jason Lowe and that naked clown took the pole for a second. Then Scott Kirchner in the 00. He took that away from him. Where will shake out across the line? Looks like he is back up into the first position for now. We'll jump on board with this 99 of Ben Wallace as he's coming around. He's going to have a pretty significant pickup here through 3 and 4 if he's going to want to take Jason Lowe and that naked clown off of the provisional pole. Right now, crossing the line is Ben Wallace. Ben able to jump all the way back up to the second position. With that being said, we're going to jump back now to the 101. Your point standings leader, Graham Bunyan, out there. First lap was only good enough for the 11th position. We'll see where he shakes out coming through 3 and 4 this time by, with just about 2.5 minutes left here in qualifying. Looks like most drivers have already put in their timed laps. Graham Bunyan to the top of the board. Ryan Bowles out on track as well. Looks like A.J. Burton in the 75 will be the only driver to not put down a timed lap just yet. So we'll go ahead, throw this down for you this time. See where Ryan's able to slot in on his second timed lap. Looks like he's going to go all the way up to the second position. Not able to, not sure what that's all about. Not able to get Graham Bunyan off of the top of the speed charts. So with just about a minute and a half remaining, here's your qualifying order. A.J. Burton looks like he may be attempting a lap here in the final few seconds. We're going to cut away, however, for our national anthem here momentarily. So we'll keep an eye on A.J. as he is actually going ahead and slowing it back on down. Something happening, not liking the way the car feels. So with only a minute left here in qualifying, if A.J. Burton is able to put down a monster of a lap, he may be able to unseat Graham Bunyan in that 101 machine from starting from the pole position. So with all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a real quick break, go on down to the track for our national anthem. Hope you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we are back live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Thanks for joining us after that great blood pumping. I mean, that gets me going. I don't know about you guys, but it gets me fired up. 115 laps here today around Texas Motor Speedway. Your starting grid looks a little something like this. Pole position, the 101 of Graham Bunyan, starting to his outside, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Row number 2, the 004 of Jason Lowe, and the 31 of Robert Mitchell. Starting in row number 3, the 99 of Ben Wallace and the 67 of Will Zoller. Row number 4, the 13 of Howard Livingston and the 71 of Stephen Harding. Row number 5, the 00 of Scott Kuchner, side by side with the 64 of Rick Lovison. Row number 6 here today, the 24 of Rick Kelball and the 15 of Danny J. Row number 7 to 306 of Will Stearns and the 75 of A.J. Burton. Row number 8 here today, the 6 of Jeff Murray, followed by the 19 of Chad Pierce. Rounding out your field here, starting shotgun, the 10 of Mike West. And ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go. Green flag racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. Field coming through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. And we're going to get that green flag here momentarily. Pace car is off. Waiting for the flagman to throw it out there. There it is. We are green flag racing here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Texas Hold'em 125. Not quite sure why I named it the 125 when we're doing 115 laps, but we won't worry about that right now. And caution is out on the field already. Looks like Mike West has had some issues. We'll jump back with Mike. See what happened here for just a brief moment. Let's go back. Oh! And I think something may have happened to another driver there. Let's look at that one more time. I think something happened with, maybe that's Rick Kelball. Who was that? My goodness, I believe that may have been Kelball that was involved also. It was. Let's take a look back, see what happened to Rick. Oh, him and another driver make contact. That's what's happened here. Kelball contact with another driver, then around they go. Once again, we'll give you a little bit one more time from the blimp here. Let's see what happened. Aerial coverage here today brought to you by Haywood Elite Wrestling Club. There you go. Contact with the front wing. Contact with Kelball, and nowhere to go for Mike West in the 10 machine. Another driver coming through. That's going to spell disaster for a few drivers early here today. So, tough break, tough luck for these drivers. They do, however, have a fast repair they can use. So, we will see a few of those drivers go ahead and burn that fast repair. Rick Kelball, however, having to use his fast repair, so he will unfortunately be sitting on pit road for quite a while, already being scored 2 laps down here today. Well, early action, bringing our first caution of the day out. Something that these Sunday Hangover Indycar League Series drivers do not see very often, and that is a caution flag flying. They are known to go flag to flag, green flag racing, and we will just have to wait to see how the rest of this race shakes out. Looks like A.J. Burton onto pit road, Will Stearns on pit road, Jeff Murray, Danny J, Mike West, and Rick Kelball. Those 5 drivers all involved in that first lap incident, as we are now working lap number 4, still under caution here today, but we will get set to go. Green flag racing once again. You can be assured of that. Not a lot has happened, but nonetheless, there you see your top 5. Graham Bunyan, Ryan Bowles, Jason Lowe, Robert Mitchell, and Ben Wallace. And those are the drivers that you can find up there at or near the top of the point standings. So these drivers, knowing how critical it is to finish up in the front of the field, possibly to replace a race that you didn't have very much luck. And we're going to go green flag this time by. Pace car is off. And we're back green here at Texas Motor Speedway. Graham Bunyan gets a good start. Ryan Bowles right behind him. Jason Lowe still in third. Now fourth to Ben Wallace. Will Zoller slotted in just behind him. Robert Mitchell there as well. These drivers now working their way down the back stretch for the first time here tonight. Still under green. Well, second time actually. Now Robert Mitchell down to the inside. Right behind him, he does have Stephen Harding. A lot of drivers getting very close to each other as Graham Bunyan has started to step away from the field just slightly already here at Texas Motor Speedway. Working lap number 6 out of 115 here today. And Graham Bunyan wasting no time as he is trying to get a step on the rest of the field. Back battle right now on track for third and fourth. That is between Will Zoller and Ryan Bowles. Also Jason Lowe right there battling to keep that second position. He has a little bit of a gap right now, but he is going to have to deal with these hungry drivers right behind him. We are on board. Caution is out yet again on track. Looks like Rick Lovison has had some issues and went around. We'll take a look back, see what happened back here near the rear of the field. And cars up into the wall. Stephen Harding bounces off the wall. Bounces again and then flips right in front of our camera. Oh my goodness, what a hit. That was a tough lick for the driver of the 71. There he is into the wall again a third time. Then into another driver, back into the wall, and flipping into turn 3, into the fence. That is going to hurt. He's going to have to tow that machine, I am pretty sure. Death roll. He's going to fall on the witch's hat there. He's not going to get flipped back over. But my goodness, some early contact for a lot of drivers out there. And that is going to put us back under caution for the second time so far here today. Only working lap number 9 out of 115. There you see a great shot at a man on a mission, the 101 of Graham Bunyan, trying to slot himself another win on the season. Graham has had a pretty good season so far. Let's look at his season stats. There you see it. 11 starts, 10 top 10s, 9 top 5s with 4 race wins this season for Graham. So he is looking to continue on his winning ways and go ahead and lock up that season championship, I believe, with a top 5 run here today. Graham Bunyan will be able to secure the season championship. So his mission for today is that top 5. It will be really close if he can manage to finish in the top 10. But the further on back through the field, the harder it's going to be for him to secure the championship, leaving Texas Motor Speedway here today. So Graham, there's one surefire way to make sure you lock that championship up today, and that is win the pole position, have the fastest lap, the most laps led, and of course win today's race. Graham already off to a great start, already has that pole position, leading the most laps right now. Your only race leader so far. So he is working at the final 2. And yeah, most of the field was able to get on and off pit road. Rick Kelball, Rick Lovison, and Stephen Harding all with major issues, major damage, but they are back out on track. All 3 of those drivers being scored 2 laps down here. That is 15th, 16th, and 17th. So out of the 17 cars, we still have all 17 running. 14 still on the lead lap. Pace car lights go out on the Ford butt stain once again. Imagine that. Luckily for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League drivers, the mechanics and technicians don't usually have to work on that butt stain very long. Once or twice, they're going to have to bring that thing back down pit road to try to get them lights working again. But we're going to come around. Pace car will be ducking off, and we will get set to go back green flag racing once again here at Texas Motor Speedway for race number 12 here today for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League. It's the Texas Hold'em 125. Pace car is off. Bunyan in the restart lines, and he takes off, gets a good jump already on the rest of the field. And we are now going to just continue around with Bunyan as he is trying to walk away from the field yet once again. We're going to have a lot of different angles, a lot of different cameras to bring you out there today. So hope you enjoy some of the racing shots brought to you here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Graham Bunyan now with a 2/10 second of a lead over Will Zoller. Ryan Bowles right there as well. Robert Mitchell in the 4th position. He is trying to make up some ground as Will Zoller looked like he was a little bit slow down that backstretch. A.J. Burton in the 75 making his way up into the top 5, now battling with the 31 of Robert Mitchell right on his gearbox, looking to the inside now. Pass is done without any issues. He's going to ride right on that gearbox now of Ryan Bowles. Will Zoller right there as well. Oh, big moment for Bowles. Bowles and Burton with a big moment that could have spelled disaster. But those drivers able to keep this thing wound up, keep it going. My goodness. Field has a little bit of a spread out. Jason Lowe in the 004. He is a little bit further back through the field right now than maybe he is wanting to be. As Graham Bunyan is starting to set sail, has opened up his lead to about a 7/10 of a second gap. Jason Lowe leading Howard Livingston and in the 6 of Jeff Murray. That is 4, 6, 7, and 8th. Got to go back just a little bit further to see some of the other drivers. There you see just off in the background, that is Will Stern, Scott Kuchner, Mike West, Ben Wallace, all running right there with each other near the rear of the field. Ben Wallace, not quite sure if he has had some damage or not, but he is struggling mightily back here in the rear of the field. He is up running that high line right now off of 4 side by side with Stephen Harding in the 15 of Danny J just out there in front of him. He's got, and big moment for Wallace as he goes around. Caution comes out. Oh my goodness. Wallace was struggling there, and we had the unfortunate opportunity to see what happened to him. Once again, you just see him get a little bit loose there, trying to correct it, and into the wall he goes. We will jump on to our onboard cam here with Ben Wallace as he's coming through the corner. There you see the looseness. He corrected it and just right up into the wall. My goodness, tough break to see for Ben. Ben usually one of those drivers that likes to run up near the front. We'll get one more look at this from our blimp cam, brought to you today by Haywood Elite Wrestling Club out of Bethel, North Carolina. We're watching this once again as Wallace has his moment in 1 and 2. There it is. All the other drivers able to skate on by without any other issues. Want to give a shout out to Haywood Elite Wrestling Club. Thank you for all the great cameras and action you're giving us out there. Drivers hitting pit road this time by. Looks like Scott Kuchner, however, in that double O, has elected to stay out on track, so he will assume the race lead. We'll have to see who gets the spots off of pit road. Graham Bunyan easily comes out of pit road, well, not your race leader, because Kuchner, he stayed out. So, leading the field off of pit road, winning the race off of pit road was that 101 of Graham Bunyan. He's going to now finally give up a little bit of time, give up a lap to Scott Kuchner, who I do not think he is going to be hitting pit road this time. So maybe a little bit of fuel strategy coming into play, knowing if you drop down now, you're still not within your fuel window. So we'll have to see what some of these drivers do, whether they stay out, come in. Looks like Stephen Hardin, Rick Kelball, Rick Lovison all onto pit road, and Scott Kuchner is going to roll the dice. He is going to stay out. He has said, you know what, there's one way to lead some laps, and that's get yourself the track position, get out front, and try to just take care of business from there. We are under caution here today for the third time here at Texas Motor Speedway. 8 laps of caution, only one lead change here today for the Texas Hold'em 125. Presented to you on Turn 3 Racing Network. And the field should start getting ready to go back green. I believe the pace car lights will go off this time by. We'll have to keep an eye on it and find out, just as these drivers will. When we hit the line, we should see them go out. And there they are. They're off. You know what time it is. 1 to go here before we get back. Green flag racing at Texas Motor. Texas Motor Speedway. A little bit of too much fun with some of the colleagues last night, so, you know, the name is fitting. That is for sure. Here early Sunday morning, Indycar racing, Texas Motor Speedway. Scott Kuchner leading this field back to the green flag. Pace car ducking off momentarily, and we will be set to go back green flag racing when we hit the line, starting lap 23. Green flag is back in the air. Scott Kuchner with a great jump so far, able to skirt away from the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Ryan Bowles still trying to track him down. Fourth position goes to the 75 of A.J. Burton, being followed by the 31 of Robert Mitchell. Just behind them, little bit of a gap, you will find the 004 of Jason Lowe battling with the 67 of Will Zoller. Howard Livingston right there as well. Now looking to the inside up front, Ryan Bowles trying to go by Scott Kuchner. He's going to be able to. Graham Bunyan has already got that job done, but Kuchner fighting back on that outside lane. Bowles not able to make the pass just yet. A.J. Burton kind of in no man's land. Not sure top or bottom. He keeps snaking back and forth. Robert Mitchell trying to close in as well. Jason Lowe has stepped away. Excuse me. Has stepped away from the few drivers behind him. He is on a way up to Robert Mitchell. And A.J. Burton just nowhere to go right now. Wanting to get by so bad, but just nowhere to take the run. Nowhere to go with it. As Ryan Bowles and Scott Kuchner's I won't say blocking up the track, but they are definitely a moving obstacle right now. Bowles able to finally get by Kuchner. He taps the wall just a little bit. That's going to let Burton by. Kuchner comes back by. Now Robert Mitchell looking to the inside of Kuchner. Battle beginning to develop for that first place position. A.J. Burton finally able to get by Kuchner and Bowles, and he has set sights on the gearbox of that 101 of Graham Burton. 4-car battle, however, back here for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. All right there with each other. Robert Mitchell, Scott Kuchner, Jason Lowe, Ryan Bowles, all with each other. Looks like Mitchell able to finally get by Kuchner, and Jason Lowe going to try to follow suit as they get to turn 3. Still running the middle lane is, that's going to get close. No contact made, but boy, was that close. Little bit of a wiggle there from that 004, and that's going to allow Kuchner to get right on back by. Now Robert Mitchell taking advantage and starting to step away from this 3-car battle. Just behind them, we have another 3-car battle. Howard Livingston, Jeff Murray, Will Zoller. They are battling it out for 7th, 8th, and 9th position. So a lot of spots still not decided just yet. 12 drivers still on the lead lap. Rick Kelball finds himself first car being scored 2 laps down. Also looks like we have had one driver had to pack it up and head to the house. The 19 of Chad Pierce. He is running in 16th as of now, but will drop some positions to the 99 of Ben Wallace once he is able to finally fix his Indycar and get back out there on track. As these positions through second on back start to sort themselves on out, we will go back up here to your 2 front runners, A.J. Burton, Graham Bunyan, battling it out. Lap after lap, Burton now trying to run that high side, keep the momentum up, and get a great run down the backstretch right up onto that rear gearbox. Of course, it's a rear gearbox because it's not in the front. Try to get on the gearbox there of Graham Bunyan as they come back to the line. Bunyan still going to lead that lap. Most of the positions through the field starting to get sorted out. Only other battle on track is between the 25 of Ryan Bowles and the 6 of Jeff Murray. They are battling for the 6th and 7th position. This battle right here is one of your closest as we are on board with A.J. Burton trying to track down that 101 of Burton. Move to the inside now for Burton going into turn 3. Will it pay off? Will it work out? Ease up the track in front of Graham. Not a problem. To the line. New leader, A.J. Burton. Working lap 15 of this green flag run, and Jason Lowe almost up into that outside wall. He's going to have to keep an eye on that. Don't want to get too close. You want to use a lot of the track, but you don't want to flirt with disaster, especially here very, very early in the race. We still have right at 80 laps left to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. So there is a long afternoon still in store for a lot of these Sunday Hangover IndyCar League drivers. Burton now able to step out to almost a second lead over Bunyan. So maybe Graham starting to think about tire management, maybe a little bit of fuel management. With all that being said, we're going to jump back here to a 3 or 4 car battle now developing with Scott Kutchner, Jeff Murray, Howard Livingston, Mike West. They are all over each other right now. Oh, contact! And Mike West, no, I apologize. That was Jeff Murray. We'll take one more look back. That was Jeff Murray. Oh my goodness. And I cannot believe we are still under green flag conditions. But my goodness. We'll have to take a look, see what happened here. Little bit of contact and he goes flying. Hit him so hard it knocked him all the way out of the sim. That's why we stayed green flag. My goodness. Tough luck, and we have seen a few drivers go ahead and head to the house. Now looks like that 99 of Ben Wallace has went ahead and packed it in. Looks like the 6 of Jeff Murray also going to be packing up his machine. 20 laps on this green flag run, and Graham Bunyan has fell back almost 2 seconds. Separate himself and the man on screen right now, the man of the hour, A.J. Burton, walking away from the rest of the field. 75 laps left to go here today, and we have got now just 9 cars on the race. On the lead lap here in today's race. Sometimes my brain doesn't work. We'll just leave it at that. Robert Mitchell, however, in the 31 machine, trying to make some gains on the field, trying to see what he can do against Graham Bunyan. Should Robert get up there, get a race win, he may be one of those drivers looking at possibly replacing a race, because as you can see right here, Robert Mitchell able to have a pretty decent finish. Started 11, top 10 in all 11 races, but he is lacking on the wins and top 5s in comparison with that 101 of Graham Bunyan. So a great finish here today will pay dividends should Bunyan have some issues. Looks like Danny J in the 15 has decided to go ahead and pull down pit road. He is going to be scored now 2 laps down, 7 cars left on the lead lap. Your race leader, A.J. Burton, has a 2.5 race lead over the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Your top 5 as they are running right now: A.J. Burton, Graham Bunyan, Robert Mitchell, Jason Lowe, and Ryan Bowles. Great racing so far out there by all of these drivers. We're going to take a moment, just hop around the field for a little while, see what we see who we see. Now you are watching the 13 machine of Howard Livingston as he is working his way back through the tri-oval. Howard having a good race so far here today, running in the 6th spot. Let's see if we can't go find somebody else to ride along with here momentarily, or just, ride along with briefly. We'll jump back here with this 71 of Stephen Harding as he is right there running with, I believe that may be the 10 of Mike West, who is down multiple laps just out in front of him. That's who that reminds me of. That may be Kutchner, but I believe it is Mike West. No, Mike West on pit road. So, yeah, that is definitely not Mike. Has to be this man right here. Scott Kutchner had the lead after a restart, staying out. He is currently running in the 8th position, 2 laps down as we run right now. Back up through the front of the field, your 4th place driver in the naked clown ride. I just love it because you know, as Jason said the other week, I mean, who doesn't like nudity and who doesn't like clowns? So, you know, hey, I'll go with it. Whatever you say there, Jason. Jason doing a good job out there today, running in the 4th position as we are still under green flag conditions. 31 laps into this green flag run, Graham Bunyan still being scored as the most laps led leader. AJ Burton, however, making a stake, trying to trying to stake his claim to the most laps led. Now has 19 laps in the books for him. He's going to go up there, try to dethrone Graham Bunyan from getting those points for the most laps led. And he is doing a stunning job of it right now. AJ just over 4 seconds out in front of Graham Bunyan. So AJ has just absolutely stepped away from the entire field as we continue to click the laps off here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Texas Hold'em 125 here this great Sunday morning at Texas Motor Speedway. Glad everybody could join us here at Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit a thumbs up. Let the drivers know you like and appreciate all the racing action being brought to you from the track. As always, I am David Worrell. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and subscribe and smash the bell over there on the right if you haven't done so already. Otherwise, I mean, hey, just sit here and continue to watch some of the great racing action brought to you by Sunday Hangover, Indycar League on iRacing.com. World's #1 racing simulator. If it's got wheels and it runs, they've got it. All tracks and cars scanned to laser precision for the most realistic, dynamic conditions that you can possibly create without spending millions of dollars for a car of your own. Nonetheless, your race leader, AJ Burton, now stepping out to a 6.5 second lead over the second place runner of Graham Bunyan. Robert Mitchell slotted in 3rd. Jason Lowe in 4th, rounding out your top 5, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Howard Livingston in the 13 machine finds himself in 6th, and Will Stearns is 7th. First car 1 lap down. Scott Kutchner, first car 2 laps down. Danny J also 2 laps down. Rick Lovison, rounding out your top 10, finds himself 3 laps down. Will Zoller also 3 laps down. Stephen Harding 3 laps down as well. Rick Kelball being shown 5 laps down, while Mike West, still trying to soldier on, finds himself sitting on pit road. Scored 21 laps down, but that number is going to grow as Jeff Murray, Chad Pearson, Ben Wallace all had to pack up and leave the track early. We all hate when that kind of thing happens, but sometimes our luck is just working against us instead of for us. A.J. Burton now knocking on the doors of leading the most laps out there today. Finds himself with 27 laps in the book for him. Make that 28 as he crosses the line yet again. Gonna run through the field here just a little bit. Try to see if we see any battling going out on track. Looks like Robert Mitchell is only about 1.9, almost 2 seconds back from Graham Bunyan. There you seen Graham off in the distance. Ooh. As Mitchell getting super loose behind some drivers, and I believe that may be Scott Kuchner just behind him. As Mitchell finds himself the meet in a lap car sandwich. You're gonna have to be pretty mindful, pretty careful of what goes on around him right here. Safely, smartly lets the other drivers go. And he is going to hit pit road under green flag conditions. Robert Mitchell onto pit road, giving up that third place. Looks like we do have a fellow driver hitting pit road as well with him. That is the 306 of Will Stearns. Will back running in the 7th position, 1 lap down already. Robert Mitchell now being scored 1 lap down. We have only got 4 cars left on the lead lap as we are working green flag pit stops here, so we will keep an eye on that, see how all of that shakes out. And my goodness, A.J. Burton has just absolutely tore away from the field. He has got himself almost a 10-second lead, and I tell you what we're gonna do. We're going to go ahead and jump on board with our gyro cam here, on board with the 71 of Stephen Harding, as he is right on the rear gear, right on the gearbox of Graham Bunyan. There you see that 24-degree banking coming into play. That's what it feels like. A lot of drivers onto pit road. Your race leader, A.J. Burton, hits pit road. Jason Lowe also onto pit road. Graham Bunyan now taking back over your race lead here for the Texas Hold'em 125, live from Texas Motor Speedway here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. That last time by, your race leader, Graham Bunyan, came down pit road. This man right here on screen, Ryan Bowles, has taken over the number 1 spot. He should be looking at coming to pit road sometime soon. And there you see him right now hitting pit road. So we're going to have a lot of drivers coming around and through. Here you see Graham Bunyan just coming off of pit road, looking to see where he will shake out with A.J. Burton. A.J. already up to speed and back into turns 3 and 4 around to the front stretch. So Graham Bunyan able to make up a little bit of time, but not very much. Ryan Bowles on pit road into his box. Looks like Graham Bunyan had a little bit faster of a stop, but he has still only been able to close that lead into just about a 9-second gap, which is just absolutely phenomenal that this man right here has been able to put in just, I mean, an absolute burner of a race. Lap after lap, A.J. Burton getting the job done. My goodness. 8 seconds is his race lead over the rest of the field, as he is going to begin to work through some more lapped cars. Looks like that may have been the 15 of Danny J. I believe that may have been who that was. Stephen Harding just behind them. He is being scored 4 laps down. And this torrent pace has now got us to where we are very, very close to only 43 laps left to go in today's race here at Texas Motor Speedway. Working lap 73 out of 115 here today, and that race lead is starting to grow rather quickly once again for A.J. Burton, now stepping it up to a 9-second lead over the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Robert Mitchell, however, still trying to come up and get to Burton. There you see him just off in the distance in front of Robert Mitchell. Robert trying to go up there and get that second position away. 1.7 seconds separate him from Bunyan. Rest of the field is a little bit more strung out than that. And I mean, it is going to be a tough feat for any of these drivers to try to do anything with Burton now without help from that dreaded yellow flag coming out. So, yeah, I mean, Burton just absolutely flying around the field. As we see Stephen Harding in the 71 going down yet another lap, coming off the pit road, making what should be his final stop of the race. And the rest of the field not having that much more luck, as you see now. The 25 of Ryan Bowles in danger of being the first car 1 lap down. He is scored in the 5th spot, but he has got your race leader A.J. Burton all over him to the inside now, going through turns 1 and 2. Burton slides up off of 2, makes the pass without any incidents, but Bowles fighting back hard, not wanting to stay a lap down. I don't think he's going to have anything that he can say about it. Using a slipstream now, trying to get the draft to work in his favor, but I don't think that draft is going to be enough to get him out and around that 75 of A.J. Burton. There you see the gap that Burton has been able to build over the 25 of Ryan Bowles. And Bowles does have about 3 to 4 lap fresher tires, but it is not meaning a thing to that man right there on screen. He is getting the job done without a doubt. Looking across the field, watching all the drivers come by, start and finish line. There you seen your race leader along with the 25 of Ryan Bowles crossing the line that time. And I just cannot say it enough. A.J. Burton smashing the field right now. Just absolutely tearing them apart. Graham Bunyan almost 12 seconds behind your race leader A.J. Burton. Robert Mitchell has been able to close the gap between himself and Bunyan from 1.7 to 1.5 seconds. So slow gains being made out there by Robert Mitchell. Jason Lowe is running in the 4th position. He finds himself just behind Robert Mitchell. So we'll go take a look at this battle beginning to brew between these two drivers. There you see Graham Bunyan just off in the foreground going by, and AJ Burton hits pit road. AJ Burton has given up the lead and hit pit road that time by. Very, very interesting, as I believed most of these drivers had enough fuel to get to the end. But that is going to also slot Jason Lowe up into second, as he was able to finally make the pass on the 31 of Robert Mitchell. So the naked clown himself, Jason Lowe, trying to come up through the field. There you see him started in third, fell all the way back to 10th, now finds himself back up in the second position, the 004 of Jason Lowe. Little bit of cleanup as we have 29 laps left to go racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. 17 drivers took to the grid today. We still have 13 running out on track. 6 cars still on the race. Still on the lead lap of today's race. Scott Kuchner in the 7 machine being scored the first car 1 lap down. Your top 3 as they run right now. Graham Bunyan has about a 1 second lead over that 004 of Jason Lowe. Then you go almost 2 more seconds back to get to your 3rd place runner, Robert Mitchell. And we have some drivers with some, I don't know, maybe some issues here. Slowing down quite a bit, getting out of the way for your race leaders. As Jason Lowe, he has got his sights set. And he is a man on the move, a man on a mission to get that gentleman just right off in front of him. That is your race leader, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. As you see the naked clown right on that front wing, trying to get up there and take the spot away from Graham Bunyan, who has got some work to do if he's going to want to take the most laps led points back away from AJ Burton. Burton hit pit road and has not been able to do much with it. He finds himself running now in the 5th position because Robert Mitchell has hit pit road as well for his final stop. And there you see him on the inside. Bunyan and Lowe fighting it out now as we enter turn 3 and 4. Jason Lowe with the momentum. He makes the pass. To the point goes the 004 of Jason Lowe. Graham Bunyan now falling back to the 2nd position. Ryan Bowles is in 3rd. 4th, AJ Burton. Fast man on track right now with those fresh tires. Last lap was a 24.28 to your race leaders. 24.8. And I believe Bunyan may be in some strategy play here, as Jason was able to get by and just kind of set sail. Almost a 7/10 of a second lead over Bunyan right now. So I believe Bunyan may be in fuel strat right now, trying to make it to the end without pitting. But I'm not sure if that's going to be something that's going to be able to be done, as A.J. Burton is only about 16 seconds behind your race leader. Laps being clicked off at about the 24 to 25 second mark. Oh, Bunyan almost right into the wall there. He's going to give up some more time on the man on screen, Jason Lowe. And Bunyan having some issues. No real damage to be seen. Looks like maybe the right side of that front wing might be a little bit crinkled. No, it's not. It seems to be fine. But he has lost a lot of ground now to the 004 of Jason Lowe. A.J. Burton able to make the pass on the 25 of Ryan Bowles. That's going to put him back up into the third position. We are under 20 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Will your front two drivers be able to make it on fuel? 32 laps, 30 to 32 laps into their green flag runs. Will they have enough to stretch it to the end? Will they have enough to keep the fast man on track right now? A.J. Burton behind them. We will have to wait to see, as we are clicking them off very, very fast here today at Texas Motor Speedway on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Bringing you the Sunday Hangover Indycar League race number 12. It's the Texas Hold'em 125 from Texas Motor Speedway. Drivers all over the track right now. Watched Graham Bunyan for a minute. He was not able to make any gains. Actually lost a little bit more ground to the man on the move. Your race leader, the 004, the naked clown himself, Jason Lowe, going to the high side around Howard Livingston. That's going to give us only 4 drivers left on the lead lap. Jason Lowe, Graham Bunyan, A.J. Burton, and Ryan Bowles. Lowe, Bunyan, and Bowles all yet to make their final pit stops. Burton has made his final pit stop. He's been out for 16 laps, and he is making some gains on the field. Your top 2 race runners right now giving up a lot of time to A.J. Burton. And they're going to stay on track yet again. And I believe this may be the strategy that they are trying to employ. And that is staying out to the end of this thing. We are still under green here. 13 laps left to go. 112. No, not 112. 103. Now make it 104 laps in the book here today from Texas Motor Speedway. And that gap is beginning to shrink pretty substantially between A.J. Burton and Graham Bunyan. That gap now only 8.2 seconds separating second and third. But a man who doesn't care what the distance between second and third is, as long as they stay back there and fight it out, is Jason Lowe. He finds himself with a 3.6 second lead over Graham Bunyan. Oh, and Lowe gonna hit pit road this time. That's gonna leave the race lead to Graham Bunyan, but he's gonna have A.J. Burton hot on his trail. Did Bunyan save enough through this latest green flag stint? We have 10 laps left to go here from Texas Motor Speedway. Just behind Graham, you do see Robert Mitchell in that 31 machine. He's being scored. The first car 1 lap down. But now the plot thickens. A.J. Burton in second position. only 5.3 seconds behind. Bunyan moves out of the way, lets Robert Mitchell go, and we'll see. Let's just get an idea here. We'll wait for the leader to cross the line, then we'll see where A.J. Burton is actually at on track. There you go, cross the line. Burton now just coming off of 4, crossing the line. So not even a full straightaway between your race leader, the 101 of Graham Bunyan, and this man, who has been one of the fastest on track to lap in and lap out. A.J. Burton in the 75 now has that race lead down to just over 4 seconds. Seven laps left to go. Graham Bunyan leading 43 laps out of today's race. A.J. Burton has led 48. If Bunyan is able to lead the rest of the race right here, he will snatch away the most laps led award. And he is making his case now. Make it 44 laps for him in the book. Only 4 more laps to break even with Burton. But Burton is on a mission. There you see him coming off of turn 2. So almost a straightaway is all the distance that is between these drivers. We hit the stripe that time. 5 laps left to go. 110 in the book. And A.J. Burton still closing in. Lead now only 2.5 seconds for Graham Bunyan. Does he have enough to stretch it all the way? That is going to be one heck of a fuel management being shown, as he is 44 laps into this green flag run. Does he have another 4 laps of fuel? Can he make it to the 49 laps on his fuel? We will wait to see. Crossing the line this time. 3 laps left to go. Lead now down to just under 2 seconds. Bunyan up the track, letting, I believe that was Jason Lowe, back onto the lead lap, not putting up a fight. Lead now 1.5 seconds. Crossing the stripe this time, there you see A.J. Burton off in the background. 2 laps left to go here for the Texas Hold'em 125 for the Sunday Hangover Indycar League here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Down the back stretch, Graham Bunyan's eyes have got to be glued to what's out in front of him. Don't worry about what's behind. Crossing the line, white flag is out. 1 to go here at Texas MotorSpeedway. Off of turn 2 for the final time. Race lead now only a half a second between Bunyan and Burton. Can Burton get there? They're through 3 and 4. Burton is closing in. Not gonna be able to get there in time. Your race winner, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. One heck of a drive behind him by the 75 of A.J. Burton. If there was another lap, I do not believe he would have been able to hold off the fast and hard charging of that 75 of A.J. Burton. And my goodness, whew, what a finish to today's race. Coming up next here on Turn 3 Racing Network, your post-race driver interviews here from Texas Motor Speedway. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you come back and join us here for those post-race interviews. We'll step away for a quick commercial. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for the post-race interviews. And do want to firstly apologize for some of the graphic language there heard before we were cleared on the audio side of things. Do apologize about that. Raw emotions do come into factor even with us up here in the production rooms. So do want to apologize for that. However, we will get to the task at hand. We are now set to go with our driver interviews, and we will see now if we can't get a hold of your third place finisher here today, that 25 machine, Ryan Bowles. You got a copy?
I do.
Oh, hey, my man. Heck of a job. Heck of a finish. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Well, it's funny, we had these open setups, and man, the car was really good to start, and then I just couldn't keep it going after a while. And really it came down to fuel strategy. I noticed going into that last pit stop that I only needed 16 gallons, and I was able to make it through when everybody else pitted, but it's kind of embarrassing to have been lapped and be 19 seconds behind the leader, even though I didn't pit.
Well, I mean, I guess I understand the point, but at the same time, I mean, those two drivers that finished in front of you on the podium, Ryan, they were laying down some flyers, just absolutely tearing up the track out there. So nothing to be ashamed of, my man. I'm sure I'd be a few laps down if I was out there on track with you fellas.
Oh yeah, they were fast. They were very fast.
So with Texas in the books now, we have one race left to go here for season number 4 for the Sunday Hangover Indycar League. What's your thoughts looking forward to the Indy race what better way to end the season than with the most iconic track for Indy cars, Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Yeah, I love Indianapolis. I'm pretty good there. And I don't know exactly what the standings are, whether I can move up or not, but I'm definitely looking forward to next week. I should have a lot of fun there.
All right, Ryan. Well, once again, heck of a job finishing third out there tonight, rounding out the podium for today's race. Before we let you go and get the car in the hauler and get ready to go to Indy, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Robert for the league and setup, and it was really a fun race. Graham and AJ for a great race, and my wife for letting me do this. Thanks, everybody.
All right, there you have it. That was the third place finisher for today's race, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Now we'll see if we can get a word in with your second place finisher, and that would be the 75 of AJ Burton. AJ, you got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Well, my man, you gave us some excitement, not just during the race, but right there at the end. Walk me through, if you will, that final pit stop in your drive to try to get the lead back from Graham.
So I don't want to say I miscalculated. It's more that I didn't calculate. I sort of just driving the race. I had a really, really, really good car over the long run. So I was just driving it flat out, trying to build up a massive lead, which I did. I was probably 12, 15 seconds in front come the first pit stop / only pit stop for Graham. And I was like, I've got this in the bag. But then I realised after my pit stop, oh crap, they can make it. I can't. And it was like, at that point, it was just, what do I do? Do I try and save, or do I just flat out try and win it on pure pace? Which I almost did, so yeah. Pitted halfway through that final stint to get some new tyres, get some top up of fuel, and came, well, probably about 200 yards short of the win in the end.
So, AJ, just tell me, if you will, what's the feeling there at the end? You already admitted you missed calculated from not calculating and coming up, as you said, about 200 yards short because you were closing the distance there. Is it disappointment, or is it still a little bit of joyful feeling that, you made an extra pit stop and you still were just by the skin of the teeth not able to come back and get that first place position?
I'm kind of laughing after that race because I've missed so many races, I'm not in championship contention. So, whilst I want to win every race, at the same time, I kind of want to help Graham win the championship. So I'm not annoyed that he beat me on that strategy. I'm annoyed that I didn't win the race when I had clearing away the best car. But Graham won it with a great call on strategy, and that's why he'll win the championship.
Well, I'm not exactly sure anybody is going to be able to do anything with him as far as the championship is concerned, with this now being his 5th win of the season. So you may have unintentionally or inadvertently went ahead and got your the job done by him finishing in first. He may have sewed up the season championship here today.
That'd be thoroughly deserved, wouldn't it? Because he's won the most races by far. He's definitely the best driver all around through short tracks, long tracks. Still got good pace on road courses as well. So, I mean, that's thoroughly deserved, isn't it?
I'll agree. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm picking favorites or anything, AJ. So I'll agree. I have seen Graham dominate on longer tracks, shorter tracks. Pretty good on the road courses as well. So I'll just agree with you just to keep things politically correct, so to speak. But AJ, man, once again, great job walking away second place. Man, you almost had it. That was exciting for sure there at the end, almost getting back to Graham. But before we let you go and head off in the sunset to get ready for Indy next week, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, just thanks to Robert and you for doing the broadcast. It's a good league. It's really fun racing, lots of clean drivers. Definitely when I get to race, I know I'm not available every week, but when I am, always have a good, fun race with everyone. So yeah, thanks to everyone who takes part. And hopefully continue this for the rest of the season and into next year.
All right, well, that was your second place finisher for today's race, the 75 of A.J. Burton. Now, we get the pleasure to speak to the man that had the strategy call of a lifetime, your race winner, Graham Bunyan. Graham, you got your ears on, bud?
Oh my God. Yep, you just caught me mid-flight in a gulp of water because, we can't drink and drive these days.
No drinking and driving allowed. That's why we're the Hangover League over here. All the drinking should have been done last night.
That's it. Wow, what a race. What a race. What a down to the line for the last lap. And honest to God, I thought AJ was just going to blitz me there. He definitely had the right call to go in and pit. And if it had been one more lap, he would have got it for sure. But wow.
Well, man, tell me a little bit how those last, I'm going to say the last 2 laps, because at the 5 lap to go mark, looks like you had a pretty good gap. Looked like you were going to be okay, but with 2 laps to go, AJ was within 1 second. Just tell me what went through your mind those last 2 laps. Were you more focused out of your visor, or were you keeping an eye in those side mirrors?
Oh, look, I was looking at the side mirrors. I was looking at the gap down on my steering wheel, and I could see that gap closing and closing. And I'd lost my draft. I had a couple of guys that I was drafting on, and I sort of lost them because I couldn't push too hard because I'd burned too much fuel. But yeah, it was definitely an eye-opener, and he did well. He is awesome. It's a shame he hasn't been around for the whole season. He's had prior commitments. But one heck of a driver, and definitely I love rubbing shoulders with AJ. Really good.
Well, Graham, looking towards the championship now, this is race number 12, I do believe, for the league. You do have one more race at Indy, and some drivers are able to do some drop races However, with you walking away with your now 5th win of the season, I'm not a statistician or, very good with numbers, but 93 points over the second place runner coming into today's race. That's going to grow no matter how the points shake out and who takes what race points finish. They can. So, how's it feel to win the race and basically sew up the Season 4 championship all in one weekend?
It's pretty good. We sort of had an inkling last weekend after finishing the race that it was a pretty well done deal, that it was signed, sealed, and delivered just on some number crunching and drop weeks and stuff. Man, it's awesome. I think I'm blessed. I'm lucky. Some of those races that I did finish in good positions were just out of pure luck. And look, I had some bad luck as well throughout some of the races throughout the season, and it's been great racing all these guys and the new guys that have come along as well. I'm just happy to put both hands around the neck of that trophy now, and yeah, just ecstatic.
Well, my man, great job once again. Great fuel strategy, great call. It paid off barely, but it paid off. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how close they were. You still crossed the line at the end of this thing first. So, great race win. Great season for you. Congratulations on not just the race win, but the season championship. Before I let you go, Graham, would you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Well, look, I want to shout out to Ryan's wife for allowing Ryan to actually race with us crazy people, especially crazy Australians. But no, look, it's been great. Everybody turning up every week, and like I said, more and more people joining in. And yeah, we have some words on track, but I mean, at the end of the day, we all learn to live and get on with it. And look, I think Robert's putting on a good show here, and I think we're putting on a good show for the audience as well. And you're definitely doing a great job up there in the box as well. So, look, again, just thanks to everybody, the Sunday Hangover League. And again, congrats to AJ and Ryan on the podium. I just wish AJ was there for a little bit more of the season. It's really good to have some competition. And look, these guys have grown over the last couple of seasons, and there's some tough competition in here now. So it's good. It's good.
All right. Well, once again, Graham, great job, and we will catch up with you at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
No worries. Thanks, Dave.
There you have it. That was your race winner right there on screen. Your championship winner. I guess the Season 4 championship has been settled and finalized. He will walk away with that championship this year. So, heck of a job by Graham in order to get that job done. Not very much left for us to do here at Texas Motor Speedway. Those drivers will slowly begin to bring their cars back to pit road and into victory lane. So, we will run through your finishing order here today for the Texas Hold'em 125, your race winner, the 101 season champion, Graham Bunyan, slotting home in the second position, the 75 of A.J. Burton. Finishing third here today, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Fourth position goes to the 31 of Robert Mitchell, rounding out your top five. The Naked Clown himself, the 004 of Jason Lowe. Finishing in sixth position today, first and only car one lap down, Howard Livingston. Finishing in seventh, the 00 of Scott Kushner was 2 laps down, finishing 3 laps down. The 306 machine of Will Stearns slots in the 8th spot. Ninth position went to the 64 of Rick Lovison, while the 15 of Danny J found himself in 10th. 11th position to the 71 of Stephen Harding, while Rick Kilball in the 24 finished in 12th. 13th position, the 67 of Will Zoller, followed by the 10 of Mike West. Jeff Murray in the 6 machine slotted in the 15th position, while Chad Pierce finished 16th in his number 19 machine. And rounding out your field here today from Texas Motor Speedway, the 99 of Ben Wallace, who had some early trouble and was left beating and banging on his machine for a long time, and unfortunately unable to rejoin the race to try to gain any more points on anybody out there. Once again, this was the way the points looked coming into today's race. Some of it may be a little jumbled and changed around going into the final race of the season next week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, should any of these drivers decide to switch today's finishing points with a earlier race. So may see some of these drivers start to jumble up a little bit. It looks like Robert Mitchell will pretty much have the second slot in the bag. Jason Lowe will be pretty close. Ben Wallace will more than likely stay around the 4th, 5th position after today's race. We'll just have to wait to see what the points look like heading off into the race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway next week. But yeah, once again, great race brought to you today by the Sunday Hangover Indycar League here on Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, in the booth right here with me, David Worrell. Glad to bring you all the great action here from Texas Motor Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network in partnership with Next Gen Racing Productions. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a wrap. Everything's getting pulled up and ready to go out. Well, I wouldn't say out west, maybe just a little bit north, as we will head off into Iowa for tonight's race here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Join us once again here tonight around 9 o'clock when we get set to go K&N Racing here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Look forward to seeing you. Hope you enjoyed the race. And, well, that's it. We're done. We're out of here. We'll see you next time here on Turn 3 Racing Network.